there's an issue where perception is reality. And when we saw back in 2020, when there were reports coming out about different members of Congress who were buying or selling stocks in the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic, one of the things that was most notable and disturbing to me was the general acceptance that, look at them, look at Congress, of course. The world is facing a global pandemic, and they're buying stocks in pharmaceutical companies. And that lack of trust that exists, that distance between people and legislators, is something that we have to take proactive steps to remedy, to close that gap. And so I think it's important that we should not only endeavor to avoid impropriety, but the mere appearance of impropriety. And the way that we do that is we say, as members of Congress, we should not be allowed to own individual stocks. Neither can our spouses, neither can our children. We are taking active steps to say, when we are in Congress, in the halls of the United States Capitol, we are working for the people who elected us. We are not thinking about what stock trades we may or may not make. We are not having in the back of our mind information from a briefing we had that morning. We are focused on the people. And if we can affirm that to the American people by saying, in fact, we won't sell or buy stocks, we won't allow ourselves to participate in the market in this way, in order to affirm that we deserve your trust, I think it's worth doing. And that's why I'm so grateful that Chip Roy, Republican colleague from Texas, is my co-lead on this bill. In the United States House, we have members across the ideological and political spectrum. In the United States Senate, Senators Ossoff and Senator Kelly are carrying our companion bill. And as you noted in the beginning, they've made some adjustments to the bill with their introduction as well. So the trajectory of this issue is really one that's forward moving. And I'm really just excited about the prospect of taking this affirmative step to say, you know, we're making this limiting decision because the American people deserve to know that we are working for them every day we're in Congress.
So why not take it up now? Republican leader Kevin McCarthy says he'll do it when and if they win the House. Why would Nancy Pelosi do it today?
Well, I hope that we'll do it as soon as possible. You know, certainly the exciting thing on the Hill is that we have seen just tremendous momentum about our piece of legislation in the past couple weeks. We just had yesterday, we signed 4 more people on, Democrats and Republicans, onto the bill. In my office, we sent out a survey to constituents. In less than 24 hours, we received more than 3,000 responses, and 93% of the people I represent who responded to our survey said, absolutely, we agree. Members of Congress shouldn't be able to buy and sell individual stocks. So we're moving towards the momentum of getting the bill to the floor. And I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep expanding the support for this bill. Again, we've got members, Democrats, Republicans, on the left, on the right, kind of everywhere across the spectrum, who agree that this is an important step that we can take to demonstrate to the American people that we're working for them.
Have you spoken to Speaker Pelosi? Has she changed her position yet?
I have not had direct conversations with Speaker Pelosi about this particular piece of legislation, and so I'm unaware of her current position on this. But I do think that as we see the American people getting excited about this type of legislation, certainly thinking it's important, and as we see members of Congress really coming together around this idea and this priority, that I hope that we will be able to take a vote on this legislation, certainly in the near term. It's important that we do so.
It certainly is. Congresswoman, thank you so much. And an open invitation to any member of Congress who is against this, who would vote no for it. I'd love to find out why. You are welcome to join us any day of the week. Congresswoman Spanberger, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.